Majestic vistas, tempered by the intimacy to the land and to its magic. The legacy of a rich and colorful past. Unequaled opportunity for discovery and adventure. These are the unique qualities that have always drawn the adventurous to the great land. The challenge facing modern-day travelers is in finding a way to experience all of Alaska's treasures firsthand. A brush with history, an encounter with the beauty and grandeur that is Alaska, and a taste of that frontier spirit of adventure. The Alaska Railroad offers these to travelers, so climb aboard and experience the great land as we tour the Alaska Railroad. From its support of mining efforts in the early 1900s, as well as its importance in the Second World War, to its endurance of natural disasters of monumental proportions, the Alaska Railroad has played an integral role in Alaska's evolution and its people's way of life. For this reason, the Alaska Railroad has ensured its place within the annals of Alaskan history. In 1985, the state of Alaska purchased the railroad from the federal government. Since then, in an effort to integrate the railroad into the growing tourism industry, the state has spent nearly $100 million to assure comfortable accommodations for all who come aboard. New passenger cars were purchased in 1990, and the railroad has established long-term arrangements with a number of tour operators who hitch their own passenger cars to the railroad during the summer tourist season. On board, a host of qualified, friendly staff help make the trip on the Alaska Railroad as pleasant and memorable as possible. The conductor, similar to a ship's captain, is responsible for the operation of the train and the safety of its passengers. However, he is also available to answer any potential questions a passenger may have.
We can have any sun today?
Excuse me?
We can have any sun today?
We can just look outside, and I kind of doubt it. We can wish for it, though.
Yeah, wait.
You bet.
In addition to the conductor, tour guides are present throughout the journey, and these guides are actually Alaskan students who are well versed in the history of the railroad as well as Alaskan geography and wildlife.
So we're going to cross over Eagle River, and Eagle River comes from the Eagle Glacier up in the Chugach mountain range. Now it's kind of a murky color, and that's due to when a glacier moves down the mountain, it kind of just pushes everything out of its way, and it also sucks up rocks and trees and all other sorts of vegetation, and it pulverizes them into a fine sediment. This sediment is what melts off in the face of a glacier into the river. That's why it's a murky color.
They are more than happy to point out points of interest and share interesting bits of Alaskana, all in an effort to help every passenger get the most from their journey through the last frontier. Although the Alaska Railroad's headquarters is in Anchorage, it really begins here in Seward. Located on the southeastern coast of the Kenai Peninsula at the head of Resurrection Bay, Seward is an excellent deep-water, ice-free port facility. Seward is part of a landscape carved by massive glaciers. The rugged headlands, deep bays, and rocky coastline is a testament to the power of these rivers of ice. As gateway to the spectacular Kenai Fjords National Park, Seward offers spectacular beauty and the chance to see Alaska's rich marine environment. Sea lions bask in the sun. Whales play in the water. And all types of seabirds soar through the grand vistas of Kenai Fjords National Park and Resurrection Bay.
Seward is a very special place, and it has some unique and interesting places for you to visit.
When you're in Seward, come down and visit us at the Alaska Sea Life Center. We're located at the very edge of town, right on pristine Resurrection Bay. We're a new $56 million facility. We've got three main habitats here for our marine mammals and our seabirds. We've got Woody right behind us, our stellar sea lion, which are on the endangered species list. We've got our alcid birds, our diving seabirds, and then we've got our harbor seals. The Alaska Sea Life Center is the only cold water research center in the Western Hemisphere. We're located right in downtown Seward, right at the base of pristine Resurrection Bay. Come down and see us. We're oceans away from ordinary.
Because it is the only one that shows only originals, and artists are very, very protective of their work and very proud of it, and rightly so. These little paintings here are by Spence Guerin. He's one of Alaska's noted artists. We plan to have a big show of his work in the summer. He's probably garnered more awards in juried shows than any other artist in Alaska. This is a painting of Exit Glacier, just out of town, by James Belkey, whose grandmother came to Seward in 1920-something, and his grandfather was mayor of Seward, so he is sort of a third-generation Alaskan artist. No, this is the only place they'll see these originals. And, of course, sculptures are done in, more casts than one. But these that I have, these bronzes, are the only ones in the state. This is a marble and ivory and ebony piece by Joe Sanungatuk, who's one of our prominent Alaska Native artists and a great guy and a great artist. And this is a soapstone muskox from the first sculpture show that Melvin Olana did in the 70s. And Melvin Olana, of course, passed away in '89 and is considered one of Alaska's finest Native artists. We're really proud to have this piece. We want to welcome you to Seward and to the gallery. If you're in Seward walking around, we'd like to have you see it. A recent visitor said about Seward, what a pretty place to have a town, and we think so too, and we would like to have you enjoy it like we do.
The Chugach Heritage Center is located in the historic railroad depot built in 1917 that has been fully restored to its original condition. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, it is the oldest depot in Alaska. The center offers the visitor a chance to experience the legends of the Chugach people of South Central Alaska. The play's title, So They Say, written and directed by Aleut renowned actress and playwright Jane Lind, celebrates the rich history of the Chugach Alaskan natives. The show is performed hourly in a variety of museum-quality costumes. We welcome you. Join us.
And while you're in town, don't miss Exit Glacier. Get up close, real close, to an Alaskan glacier.
Leaving Seward, the railroad leads only in one direction, north. Climbing steadily toward Moose Pass and the Grandview area beyond, the line gains elevation steadily over the next 40 miles. Out your window, watch sparkling lakes and rugged mountains as you pass through the heart of the eastern Kenai Peninsula. Places like Woodrow, Divide, Lakeview, or Johnson, former construction staging areas along the railroad. Today, these areas serve as maintenance hubs for the line and home to the men and women who work assuring the smooth operation of the railroad. At Grandview, some 50 miles from Seward, you won't find a town or even a maintenance station. What you will find, in the winter anyway, is some of the finest backcountry skiing in the world. Each year, the Nordic Ski Club of Anchorage charters the railroad to take skiing enthusiasts from Anchorage to this pristine area for a day of winter recreation. This isolated Nordic ski haven in the heart of the Chugach Mountains can only be reached by train, and the trip is a raucous jamboree of dancing, singing, and fellowship that is sure to help cure the midwinter blues. In the upper reaches of Turnagain Arm, the spur line to Whittier originates. It is one of the most heavily traveled sections of the railroad. Travelers are treated to unique views of Portage Lake as they transit the Chugach Mountains to Whittier, gateway to the marine wildlife of Prince William Sound. After exiting the last of the nearly 3 miles of tunnels that connect Whittier to the junction at Portage, passengers disembark at the head of Passage Canal in this community of some 250 year-round residents. As the transshipment point for most rail barge freight entering the state, as well as a popular tourist destination, Whittier plays a vital role along the railroad.
Well, I'm Les Shepard, the chief purser on the Bartlett from the Alaska Marine Highway. We operate between Whittier, Cordova, and Valdez in the summers, and between Cordova and Valdez in the winters. And we take car traffic and also passengers. Thank you.
Continuing north to Anchorage, enjoy the view as the track follows the contours of Turnagain Arm. Turnagain Arm has dramatic tides ranging up to 30 feet. More tides are common here, surging walls of water up to 6 feet high. During the summer and fall salmon runs, beluga whales are found cruising the channels of the tidal flats in search of a meal. Although the entire stretch along Turnagain Arm is part of the municipality of Anchorage, Potter Marsh marks the entry into Anchorage proper. Officially, the Potter Point State Game Refuge, the marsh is home to hundreds of species of waterfowl, not to mention an infinite number of bird watchers. Here you can discover some of the Alaska Railroad's history at the Potter Section House. Workers along the railroad were housed here during construction. Today, Potter Section House serves as an office for Chugach State Park, with interpretive displays and brochures on one of the nation's largest state parks in the U.S. Despite being the cosmopolitan and economic hub of Alaska, as well as the state's largest city, a pioneer spirit still echoes in Anchorage. From reminders of Alaska's original gold prospectors to the contemporary edifices of modern oil prospectors, Anchorage never lets you forget the vitality that comes with life in the north. Anchorage sits astride the north end of Cook Inlet, surrounded by the Alaska Range and the Chugach Mountains. Within the nearly 2,000 square miles of the municipality are parks, green belts, lakes, and trails, and we count more than 2,000 moose as our neighbors. Winter is a wonderful time to visit Anchorage. In February, the Fur Rendezvous kicks off. Called Rondi by locals, the festival is a 10-day whirlwind of activities and events. From the Rondi Grand Prix race to World Championship sled dog races through downtown streets.
Sister-in-law and brother-in-law Charlie, Roxy, my father-in-law Gareth, Miranda, my dad, my brothers. I mean, we all work so that one of us can get here to be able to race this. And we all work year-round to get here. 365-day job. It's not something you can walk away or take a day off from.
Anchorage pulls out all the stops as it shakes off cabin fever.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And there's our first musher and his dog team on the way to Nome. Bib number 1 set aside for 2.
In March, the world-famous Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race begins along 4th Avenue, a grueling 1,049-mile trek across the wilderness of Alaska. The Iditarod is billed as the last great race on Earth.
All of the luck in the world on his way to Nome during Iditarod.
Guys that really like trains, okay? Guys that really, really, really like trains. Not people that just work in the office and don't care, it's just a job. But people that really like trains and understand what trains are all about are serious railroaders. I consider myself a serious railroader, even though I do everything with the intention of fun. Because if you don't have fun, who cares, right? Before you get serious about this, we have guys in this hobby that we call them rivet counters. These are toy trains, folks, and they're supposed to be fun. Besides that, there's no great big locomotives running around out there in the real world that are made out of plastic. Cut.
For a true taste of Alaska, stop by the Railway Brewing Company, located in the Alaska Railroad's depot in Anchorage. Enjoy a selection of microbrews on tap. They're made right at the depot, so you're sure of their freshness and quality. Railway Brewing is also known for its excellent food and fun entertainment. Your Alaskan vacation is complete after a visit to the Railway Brewing Company.
Near the train depot south of Ship Creek sits the Alaska Railroad Headquarters building. Housed here are management, operational, and marketing staff of the railroad. It is here that the future of the railroad is planned, and the vision formed that will see the railroad augment its position as a vital link, not only to Alaska's storied past, but to its promising future. Here, passengers embark once more on the trip to Fairbanks and the northern terminus of the railroad. The railroad brings along a dining car and a domed two-story car for unobstructed views of the vast landscape. Also at Anchorage, luxury cars of private tour companies are linked to the train. The tracks north of Anchorage lead past Government Hill and alongside the Port of Anchorage. This port is the furthest north deep draft port in the United States. The bulk of Alaska's seagoing cargo comes through the Port of Anchorage. Past the gantries and warehouses of the port, the train picks up speed as it skirts Elmendorf Air Force Base and Fort Richardson, two strategically important bases established in World War II to secure America's northern frontier. Moving along Knik Arm toward the Matanuska Valley, the railroad crosses Eagle River and the native community of Eklutna. The uplands east of the track are dotted with a number of small and medium-sized towns within the municipality of Anchorage. Crossing the hay flats on the north side of the Matanuska River, the railroad sails along in the shadow of Pioneer Peak and the Chugach Mountains. Near here in the farming community of Palmer, a unique locale in that it is the only Alaskan community with its origins in agriculture. The fruits and vegetables grown here are displayed annually at the Alaska State Fair, an event that brings the entire state of Alaska together to join in friendly competition as well as a host of other pastime activities.
And while you're in Palmer, don't miss the reindeer farm.
The reindeer really are very friendly animals. They really enjoy people. When we come in here to feed them, they're very nice. They come right up to you. And reindeer have no teeth on top, so they can't bite you. So they use their lips to pick it up. When you feed from their hand, it actually tickles, and they do lick and drool on you, but they don't bite. So it's actually nice to feed them. You can't pet them on their backs, though, because when reindeer fight, they actually jump up and they paw on each other. So if you touch their backs with your hands, they think you're hurting them, and they get scared and run away. So we ask you to touch their face and their necks. Some like their beard scratched and some like their ears scratched. If they come up and rub on you, they want you to pet them there. You'll notice that the reindeer and caribou actually click when they walk, and it's not anything strange and unusual. It's actually a tendon in the back legs. This tendon will snap against a bone, causing the clicking sound, and what it does is it puts a bounce in their step, and then these deer can walk farther without getting so tired. It's actually a migratory trait, and they will migrate up to hundreds of miles in a year. They're constantly moving, always walking, and this bounce in their step really helps them. It also helps them for liftoff when they fly at Christmas. They really are very nice animals. We really have a good time with them. They're our pets, and we love them very much. So we're going to come in here and have some fun with our reindeer, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we do.
Returning to the main line, The Alaska Railroad continues north through Susitna drainage. Communities stretch all along this portion of the railroad from Wasilla through the lowlands to the beginning of the climb into the Alaska Range foothills. Throughout this region, lakes dot the area and rivers wind through courses carved among the hills. Enormous populations of fish and game are found here as well, making the area one of the most popular and accessible weekend getaway areas in the state. Most of the communities along here trace their origins to either mining at the turn of the century or to the construction period of the railroad. Wasilla is the home of the Iditarod, hosting the restart of the race every March, and the Mushers Museum.
Forward!
Duncan is one of our special guests, and he is our engineer today. And he has the most famous gift that the Alaska Railroad has to offer, the Alaska Railroad train whistle. He's wearing our engineer cap and our engine t-shirt, and he's also holding our Moose Beanie Baby.
Talkeetna began as a mining and trapping center. It remains today as an accessible remnant of Alaska's pioneer past. Most folks here live off the beaten path because they like it that way. In fact, when the original plan for the George Parks Highway linking Anchorage to Fairbanks proposed to pass through the town, residents there lobbied successfully against it, forcing construction to pass some 14 miles west of town.
Yeah, Paul Jones, just a citizen of Talkeetna. Well, I don't know. Well, I got to be somewhere, and I just like it here.
Well, if you want to get some of the local color and meet some of the local people, everyone comes to the Fairview. The mural over the bar was painted in 1953 by Curtis Wagner. The bar is the original bar. The flooring is the old oak flooring that was originally put in. It was as a roadhouse for the miners and the railroad. President Harding slept there. He died a few days later in Kansas, but he drove the last spike in the railroad. Everyone comes to the Fairview. It's always a friendly stopping place for everyone.
We have artisans in all different fields who live right in Talkeetna. Not only are they craftspeople, artists, but we have musicians that have their own CDs. We have authors that have their own very good selling books. And we also have an artist who does children's books. And there's the best-selling children's books in the whole state. And she lives here. Well, we have a guest book for people to give comments on what they thought of the dioramas. And we have everything from wonderful, fantastic, very funny, you've hit it right on the nail, not like any other museum. We really enjoyed it. And when you're in downtown Talkeetna, don't forget to stop by and see us.
Talkeetna also serves as the primary staging area for parties intent on climbing Mount McKinley. At 20,320 feet, McKinley is North America's highest peak. It is rugged to the extreme, and its high latitude location poses its own special problems. Nevertheless, more than 1,000 hardy souls make an attempt to reach the summit every year.
For exciting river trips through Alaska Rapids, it's Mahays Riverboat Service, offering the most advanced river jet boats in the state, taking you to the heart of Alaska wilderness with the utmost in comfort. Get face-to-face with an Alaskan salmon.
Right there you go. Pretty nice fish.
Hudson Air Service. Enjoy flight scene tours over majestic Mount McKinley with Hudson Air Service. Land on a glacier or watch climbing expeditions on the massive mountain, or take a fly-in fishing tour in summer with Hudson Air Service.
Pretty rustic, and we have a lot of mountain climbers come in the summertime, and air taxis, all pilots and so on come over for dinner, and we do fishing and hunting charters from here. Depart from the train at the station here. It's about a block of a walk. Well, we do really good food here. We've had a lot of compliments on it. We've had several that said that Talkeetna and Latitude 62 Lodge were the highlights of their trip.
Oh, talk to him.
Is he a local celebrity?
Yes, he is. He saved me from a grizzly bear. And he flies in the airplane with me. And he goes around town and sees people. Oh, he's talkative this morning. He stays in a foul mood, but he's kind of a bird.
From Talkeetna, the railroad crosses the mighty Susitna River. Transiting the river bottom lands before beginning the long, gradual climb into the Alaska Range foothills near Cantwell. This stretch of line posed some of the most difficult engineering problems during construction of the route. As the railroad climbs, it also crosses several rivers, deep gulches, and canyons. The bridges erected to span these obstacles are a marvel of ingenuity.
We're going by, they all do it to us. It goes like this. Yeah, they're over here. Do it to our dome card too, they'll like that.
They can't believe they're doing it.
All right, we got the moose way. Oh, there's more. What are they doing?
Along this stretch, passengers are afforded their first close-up views of Mount McKinley. Soaring far above the lesser peaks nearby, which only top off at 14 to 17,000 feet. Once on top of the high plateau that gives way to the Alaska Range, the tracks begin to follow the course of the Nenana River. Shortly past Cantwell, it crosses the boundary of Denali National Park and Reserve.
Well, the most oft-asked question is, as soon as the train starts, is, are we going to see Mount McKinley?
What time does wildlife come out?
As soon as you want it to.
What time do you turn on the northern lights?
In the wintertime's best.
What sound does Prince William Sound make?
How much does Mount McKinley weigh?
I've been asked twice how much Mount McKinley weighed, and my normal response is with or without the snow. But because I have had that question asked, I feel it's my duty to be able to answer it in the future, so I went to the geologist at Denali Park and discovered that it weighs 1.4 trillion tons.
How much does Mount McKinley weigh with
A vast wilderness encompassing more than 6 million acres, Denali National Park is home to a wide array of wildlife. Bears browse on hillsides, while eagles soar in the air currents above. Caribou herds wander on the tundra. Doll sheep watch from high atop forbidding rock outcroppings.
Well, this tour is approximately 2.5 to 3.5 hours. We go 20 miles into the park to Primrose Ridge, which is a 3,000-foot elevational view, and some days Mount McKinley's out in there too. We have a living history tour that's part of this. Living history is a bit of the past that's come back to life. We often stop for animal sightings throughout the road corridor. And that's what the natural history tours are about. It's a little bit of the natural history of the park, and usually we see wildlife, and Mount McKinley's within view often here too. It's a nice little way to fit in part of your day.
Visitors check in at Denali Park Depot, which is along the same road winding through the vast wilderness preserve. North of Denali Park is Healy, site of Alaska's only commercial coal operation. The Nenana Drainage is mining country. Abandoned dredges can be seen along riverbanks, and the equipment and ongoing placer mining operations are seen in action from train windows. At Nenana, the railroad crosses its longest bridge. It was here in 1923 that President Harding drove the Golden Spike, marking the beginning of railroad operations. The name Nenana means roughly good camping between two rivers. Poised between the Nenana and Tanana rivers, the town began as a trading post in 1902, supplying goods to river-traveling prospectors and trading with the Athabascan Indians of the interior. From Nenana, the tracks cross a series of ridges and rivers before finally descending into Fairbanks. Fairbanks is the end of your journey for the northbound train, and a great place to reflect on your journey. With the Alaska Range to the south and the Brooks Range looming just over the horizon to the north, Fairbanks is indeed at the heart of the great land. Here, visitors will find the true spirit of the Alaska pioneer alive and well.
Alaskans have had a long and passionate love affair with the land. One of the most sought-after earth elements is gold, and that's just what was found in Alaska back in the late 1800s, and was one reason the Alaska Railroad tracks headed towards Fairbanks. Ever since then, the majestic lure of instant wealth has interwoven its web of intrigue and adventure deep within the history of Alaskan character. One of the most interesting traditions that revolves around gold is bringing the uncertain bounty into town and having it evaluated at the local precious metal and gem store. Located in the heart of downtown Fairbanks is one of the most unique jewelry stores. It continues the tradition of actually weighing the precious metal. You can still bring in gold, have it weighed, and receive cold hard cash. Or have the expert at Taylor Gold and Stone Jewelry Store make it into a one-of-a-kind piece, the only one like it in the world. Explore the many glass cases and uncover some uniquely Alaskan treasures. The store reflects the past so well that you can meet actual prospectors who still look for the elusive metal today. So while in Fairbanks, if you want to experience some history, talk with a real prospector, meet some friendly people that make great jewelry, make sure you stop on by and become a part of a real Alaskan experience where the past meets the present at Taylor's Gold and Stones, located in downtown Fairbanks.
Meet Lambert Hazelar, a real Alaskan conductor for the Alaskan Railroad and co-owner of the Minnie Street Bed and Breakfast, along with his wife, Marnie. Your Alaskan hosts pamper you with luscious breakfast treats, warm and friendly conversation, and the comfort and luxury you've come to expect on your Alaska vacation. Just minutes from all the action, count the Minnie Street Bed and Breakfast Inn as your headquarters for Fairbanks fun and style.
The Golden Heart city of Fairbanks is the perfect stopping point for the Alaska Railroad, with many fun and exciting adventures awaiting visitors. Fairbanks was founded as a gold rush town in the early 1900s. At Gold Dredge number 8, discover the rough and tumble mining history that makes up such a large part of interior Alaska.
First of all, you get to take a tour. It's a top-notch tour. It takes about an hour, and you'll be with one of our excellent guides.
It ran for a total of 31 years, bringing in over $3 billion worth of gold.
And after that, we take you gold panning. And we do guarantee you'll find gold. On average, we'll get about $10 worth of gold. And it's authentic Alaskan gold, and you're welcome to stay as long as you like and continue panning. And we have people down there to show you how it's done, to help you out. We have a really nice gold panning facility as well. We also have lunch. It's a hearty miner stew and biscuits, and it's all you can eat. It's delicious, so we have lots of things to offer, and it's a lot of fun.
Just north of Fairbanks, celebrate the fun of Christmas year-round at the Santa Claus House. At Alaska's North Pole, choose from a wonderful array of Alaskan gifts, clothing, Christmas ornaments, and collectibles. For a unique twist, you can get a letter from Santa at the North Pole sent to your children or grandchildren, or buy them some land in North Pole. For nearly 50 years, visitors from all over the world have enjoyed the warmth, the spirit, and the hospitality of the Santa Claus House, where it's Christmas all year round.
No matter when you happen to visit Fairbanks, you'll find a warm and generous spirit of community and a place truly worthy of the title, Alaska's Golden Heart City. The Alaska Railroad is a corridor through some of the great land's most spectacular scenery, a link with the past and a touchstone for the future. The Alaska Railroad brings us through the present along routes of northern adventure, providing memories to last a lifetime.